If you've ever bought a lottery ticket because the prize is over $1 billion, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, folks. Welcome back. Like and comment. See why this is the best community on the internet. I'm not going to do anything to control you, folks. We're out here to make some money. Got 13 and Nick Brown in the back. Let's get it.
Welcome to Benzinga Live Trading.
Let's see if this actually kind of comes back.
Way out of control, got way too high.
All right. Hey, I will take that. I will absolutely take that.
Okay, hello and welcome and happy Tuesday, traders. Great to see a whole bunch of people back here today. It is looking like it's going to be a down day, so let's go ahead and make some sense of it. Zinger Buddy is actually in the other room. My office assistant was on the back of my chair for a little bit, but now he's wondering where the bird went, so he's going to go explore. Let's go ahead and dive right into what's going on here. I'm going to bring on my main man, 13. 13, how you doing today?
I'm having a pretty good morning. How is everybody else out there today?
It looks good. We got good mornings from everybody in there. Nick Brown in the chat and on screen. Nick, how you doing here today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. You don't sound all that enthused, but that's okay. I know you're like Adam Schefter over there getting breaking news on your phone so you can report it to the group. Absolutely. Anne-Marie, what a night of baseball indeed. My night of baseball started off with the Cubbies getting a win here in their home opener right before the rainstorm started. Literally, it was like just started to rain as they were finishing their 5-0 victory. Baseball was great last night. So too was the women's college basketball. And so too was some of the hockey. I almost hit a gambling hat trick, but Paige Beckers, unfortunately, was 2 points short of my parlay. Okay, we'll get away from the sports gambling and get back to the market gambling. Just kidding. We'll get back to the trading here. Let's first talk about SPY. It does look like we're rolling over here. So we've been talking about the pattern that we've been in for months now, where we kind of trade up, roll over. Looks like we're going to crack. Oh my God, we're extended. We got to come back in. Nope. Buyers step back in, take us to new highs, wash, rinse, repeat over and over and over again. Here we are in the pullback phase. This looks like we're going to test the 20-day simple moving average. This is a moving average 13 has talked about a whole bunch here. I've got that value at 516.42, and it looks like that is going to be on deck here today. If we zoom into the pre-market here, you can see that this is continuing to weaken as we get closer to the open. And as you'll remember, if I actually flip over to the Qs, one of the things that I told you that I took last week were some this week SQQQ calls. So it's great to see the Qs selling off here. I'm actually already positioned for this. We'll see if SQQQ can print today. I'd caution you to chase one of these down moves. A lot of time we get a down move, we end up bouncing, but we will watch the market here and we'll try and give you some entry ideas. 13, looking at the SPY here, what are you thinking here for today?
Yeah, I agree. I think we're beginning to see a bit of a rollover happen here. Yesterday, I pointed out how for the past year, we've been in this monthly pattern where we've traded up for 5 months, sell off for 3 months, and then we trade up for another 5 months. Now, being that April has started, this is going to be the first month where we're supposed to see another that pattern repeat of 3 more down months. So we'll see what happens if that's going to pan out. One thing with regard to the SPY is that the next level that I had for support was at around 518.30, based off of a high that we put in on March 8th, and finding support down at that level on March 26th. So that was not the exact levels of those highs and lows, but kind of in between. So I chose 518.30 as the level to watch, and right now it's kind of falling through that, so we are headed towards that 20-day SMA.
All right, we'll see if we test that. We'll see if we hold there when the market opens. The other thing is maybe we bounce back and retest that 518 level that you just spoke about and see if we have any type of resistance there. Okay, that pretty much takes care of the SPY. Of course, we're going to watch this all day. We did have some more news going on here in Tesla. I know if you were on pre-market prep, they were talking about this at the end there, so apologize if I'm doubling up here, but if you're just tuning in to us now, we got our newsman Nick here. Nick, what on earth is going on with Tesla here? Moved from a 172 handle to a 162 handle over the last 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, so basically what they did is they reported Q1 production figures, and they produced over 433,000 vehicles. They delivered approximately 387,000 vehicles. The decline in volume was partially due to the early phase of the production ramp of the updated Model 3 at the Fremont factory and the factory shutdowns resulting from shipping diversions caused by the Red Sea conflict and an arson attack at the Gigafactory in Berlin. Now, the production is, and you have to do this in a breakdown. So for the Model 3Y, production was 412,376, and deliveries were 369,783. Other models, production was 20,995, deliveries were 17,027. You put those two numbers together, you get total production 433,371, total deliveries 386,810. We also know that Tesla is going to post Q1 financial results on April 23rd after the close.
Okay, so there we go on Tesla. I heard Dennis right at the end there saying Tesla needs to hold 160. That was my sentiment exactly. You also probably have some support down here. I beg your pardon, about 150-ish if we get down here. But first, we're going to test this 160 area. Let's see what happens here on Tesla. Definitely on deck for a potential trade here. And if this continues, I know we only have about 15 minutes left here in the pre-market, but if this continues to make a little channel down there, I'll mark that off and trade the pool, and Tesla will be one of the stocks on watch here today. Okay, let's flip over to the movers tool 13. I know that you said there were a lot of stuff moving here today, definitely more than we saw yesterday. So let's roll through it and get prepared. First stock on the list here is going to be ticker VVPR. This is Vivo Power International. Catalyst here, Vivo Power shares are trading higher after the company's Tembo subsidiary, announced it will merge with the NASDAQ-listed Cactus Acquisition Corp. So it looks like we've got a little bit of a merger and acquisition here. This thing shot up towards 565. We've pulled back to VWAP. We're holding right there. Looks like we were trading on some pretty good volume. What do you got here on VVPR?
Yeah, speaking of volume, the float on this thing is about 1.5 million shares. They did a 1-for-10 reverse split on October 6th. So checking those boxes for a volatile mover. But other than that, you covered the reason why it's moving. It's got a subsidiary that's merging with another company.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. And this on average trades just about 47,000 shares, already 11.5 million. Looking for kind of a big day here out of VVPR. Not sure what direction it's going to go in yet, but this one here definitely on deck. Next here is going to be ADTX 13. We were kind of watching this here in the pre-market as this thing was ripping here. ADTX, this traded up towards 6, didn't quite get there. We've traded this one a number of times off of the relative volume scanner in the past. We should be at least somewhat familiar with how this one trades. ADTX. I'm not actually sure how you're supposed to pronounce this. ADTX. We're just going to go with the ticker because that's easy. Trading higher after the company announced it will acquire Apili Therapeutics. What do you got here, 13?
So usually when you see a company acquiring another one, you'd think, well, this shouldn't be moving up because it's about to spend some cash. I think this one is a little bit different because Apili, however you pronounce that, they have FDA-approved drugs already in the pipeline, and they also have another program that is receiving backing from the U.S. government. So this is not just any acquisition. This is an acquisition that has things that could potentially make money almost immediately. So that's pretty important. They do have a 1.66 million share float. They did a 1-for-40 reverse split last August.
Okay, it looks like earnings are due here. They're unconfirmed as of this point, but they're due here in the next about 2 weeks or so. I'd only use this as a day trading vehicle, but if you are, for whatever reason, going to hold this overnight, keep in mind when that binary event is due so that you're not caught by surprise. Okay, next on this list here is another, I don't want to call it a favorite because I don't really think it is a favorite. But this is a common one that we see here on the scanner and on the movers list. This is going to be Kidpick, ticker PIK. Kidpick shares trading higher after the company entered a merger agreement with Nina Footwear. Hopefully that means we won't have to say Kidpick anymore. Regardless, the stock popped in the after hours yesterday, had another little move up today, but is starting to give back some of those gains. Worth noting here that we actually are right at where we found support in the after-hour session yesterday, right here at about 590. We are a little bit over $1 extended away from the VWAP to the downside. So this, to me, has definitely got to prove that it's going to firm up before we take any type of long side trade. What do you got on Kidpick 13? You excited for this one?
Nope. We've traded this one before. I haven't had very many good trades off of this one. And if it's getting acquired, I think it's something like 80% of the shares are going to the parent company that's picking it up. I really don't think there might be a whole lot of trading here. You can trade this if you wish. I don't think it's going to be on my screen for me today.
Okay, there you go. Doesn't sound like you like Kidpick
Nope.
very much there. Okay, I do see a number of these other instruments that are up here. Last one we have here is XTIA. This is XTI Aerospace. The stock up just about 52% here. Now, with this one, I didn't see any catalyst out there. Wondering if any of you folks have anything. 13, were you able to find anything on ticker XTIA? I don't even have a float figure here, just an average volume figure.
Their float, from what I could find, is 480,000 shares, so very low float.
Very low float. Okay.
Not moving on any news, but the thing about this one is that it might be moving relative to some of these other EV toll stocks. This is a company that's working on their own version of a electric vertical takeoff and landing vehicle. The thing is that they only have about $38,000 in cash, and they're eating roughly $1 to $4 million every quarter. They're going to make an offering. They're gonna have an offering. I'm sure with the run this is having, or it's about to have today, they're going to put an offering. So I would be very, very careful trading this. Maybe not even touch it at all if you don't want to be caught in that offering news. But XTIA, this is something that I'm very sure in order for them to continue doing business, they're going to need to raise cash.
Okay. Really good stuff there. I totally agree with you there. They're absolutely going to need cash. And in this environment, I think a raise is probably the way they're going to do it. We'll see if this ends up trading back up here. Good warning there. Be careful with this one. Okay, last one here on the list is going to be GXAI. This is Gaxos AI. You make of this what you will. This thing popped as high as 972, 973, and I was already bled back 3 points of that move to the upside. I didn't see any fresh news here. Last news we have is from March 26th. This to me looks like kind of a momentum trade, maybe even a pretender in the AI space. It says it's revolutionizing the way humans interact with artificial intelligence. That's about as vague and general as it gets. Company offers applications related to its mental and physical well-being, coaching, and gaming. So, okay. GXAI, that is moving here. This one, I'll just go out on a limb here. I'm just going to stay away from this one. We got much better opportunities on the horizon out there. Okay. What else do you folks want to take a look at? We can go ahead and pull them up here. Go ahead.
I'm waiting to see if ADTX, after this next 5-minute candle that's currently putting in right now, if it starts to take the next staircase up here. So that's one thing I'm going to be watching for with ADTX. It's been a pretty big mover, staircasing its way up. I want to see if the next leg up happens in the next several minutes here.
Okay. Sounds good to me. Carmen, good to see you this morning. Hopefully your morning is well. Carmen, I know that you were mentioning ticker HYMC. This is Highcroft Mining. This is one that we've absolutely covered before. You can see this had a really nice move yesterday. I don't see anything new going on for this one here. Don't see any new news. Wondering what you're looking at here. This is just one that you're already holding. Gold and silver producer here. It's operating a mine. The Highcroft mine is an open pit heap. Oh, come on, article. Leach operation located approximately 54 miles west of Winnemucca, Nevada. So this is going to be a gold and silver miner here. Saw that you folks were mentioning this one. Taking a look at the daily chart here. Maybe this has bottomed to 2. Pretty decent bottom there. Okay. And you're holding it. So you're just wondering about one of the stocks that you hold. Okay, cool. HYMC. If any of you folks have anything for Carm, let me know. Let me go ahead and flip over to my main workspace here, and then I'll go ahead and roll through some of the other stuff. Oh, there is one here I did want to mention. AINC. This is another one I don't think we covered. This is Ashford. Ashford shares are trading higher. Company announced that it approved a reverse split and delisting strategy. So remember 13, we've been talking about some of these reverse split catalysts and those stocks running here. Looks like that's what you're getting here on AIN.
Usually you get the run after they do the reverse split and avoid delisting, not before when they announce it. So this is interesting.
Get ready, guys. We're going to reverse split.
Yeah, get ready.
That is indeed interesting. Okay, Lauren. Good morning, Lauren. You want to take a look at PayX. This is PAYX. This is Paychex Incorporated. Go ahead, 13.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought that it was PayPal that's using, but that's somebody else.
PayPal's the next one. That was from a different person.
Then can we hit Amazon? There was news breaking regarding Amazon.
Yeah, we definitely want to hit breaking news. I'm going to roll through PayX really quick here. This is trading lower because of mixed financial results. One of the things that you can see here is we actually blew through a couple of support levels on PayX here. Next level I've got here probably about 112. Looks like we kind of already bounced off that one. Maybe 110 to 112. Some decent support here. Actually, taking a look at this, we might chart this and trade the pool for a potential pre-market channel break. We'll see. We'll come back here to PayX, ticker PAYX. That's Paychex.
It might be the guide.
Let me move over. What's that?
It might be the guide. But
might be the guide that's bringing them down. Okay, we'll check back into that in a sec. Here's Amazon, Nick. What's the breaking news that you have on Amazon?
The information is reporting that Amazon's grocery stores is going to drop just walkout checkout tech. Now Amazon is gearing up to open a new batch of grocery stores after an 18-month pause, and it's ditching the technology. Tony Hoggett, Amazon's senior vice president of grocery stores, said in an interview that the next generation of Amazon Fresh stores, the commerce giant's answer to mass market grocery chains, will focus instead on offering dash carts, which let customers scan items while they shop. This year, Amazon will also revamp the majority of its existing Fresh locations into version 2 stores. The senior vice president said in an interview, saying that removing just walkout where it's already installed while sprucing up the stores across the board.
Okay, so Amazon moving lower here, down about 1.2% here in the pre-market. That doesn't actually sound all that bad.
Yeah.
And real quick here, Peak, we don't need that. If you keep doing that, I'm going to time you out here. We don't need that here. I appreciate the offer, but we don't need that going forward. Sorry, 13, go ahead.
No problem. I'm just, trying to wrap my head around why this is such, well, I guess it's not really that big of a move, but to me, this seems like this is something they should just get out of anyway. I don't think this is a good segment for them, but that's just my opinion. I don't have any data to back that up, but grocery stores and Amazon, I don't know. I'm not buying it. I think they've been trying to do the grocery store thing for a while. It hasn't worked out. I don't think it's going to ever work out unless there's something that I'm not seeing. But I just don't think that they need to be in groceries.
Yeah,
they need to focus on their web services.
Yeah, I'm with you on that too. When I think about groceries, Amazon is never at the top of the list. When I think about web services, Amazon is the list. Mm-hmm. So that makes a lot of sense there, 13. Okay, we'll see how this news does with Amazon here today. Let's go ahead. PayPal was another one that we were being asked about. Let's take a look at the time here. Got about 2.5 minutes, so we're not doing as bad as, or I'm not running out of time like I normally am. PayPal here, the next one. We'll go ahead and take a look at PayPal moving lower here in the pre-market. I don't see any fresh news here for PayPal, so this looks like this is just kind of trading with the broader market here. If we take a look, let me actually flip to the daily here. If we take a look to the daily, or if we take a look at the daily here, PayPal really trying to put in that bottom. I use this. I'm familiar with PayPal. I'm a big believer on trading what you know. So PayPal, I definitely be interested in a long here on PayPal, but I really think we need to see some upside here. I'm not looking to take a new position ahead of a potential market pullback.
Yeah, I just trying to see what's going on here because it was moving down yesterday as well after the close, and the only thing that's on here is a Form 10K that showed up after the close yesterday. So other than that, I don't know why this is moving. I'd have to read through the 10K and see what is mentioned there about PayPal.
There you go on PayPal. Who was asking about this? I think it was
it was Vera.
Yeah, it was Vera. Yeah, Vera, let us know what you're looking for.
Her wonderful PayPal. Last name I'm not going to pronounce.
Let me know what you have there. Okay. EKS saying, I'm disappointed I cannot pay for my Amazon stuff using a PayPal account. As far as like the idea for the scanner that you pick up when you enter the store and the items that you scan and then you check out, I would use that. The only store I would use that at is Costco. I would use that there. I still think you'd run into the issue where you need to have the checkers at the door, make sure that you're not throwing other product that you're not scanning in there. I'm not sure that would go over. Just kind of thinking out loud here. I'd actually use that feature if that was available, but I'm an honest person. So
let me ask you, do you think in this environment where retail theft is higher than it's ever been, do you think that self-checkout and self-scanning is really the way to go?
No.
It doesn't seem like
no, I don't. That's why I kind of threw the caveat in there at the end. I'm an honest person. I don't go to stores to steal things, but I don't know. I just think it would kind of help with just the traffic and moving through there. But I agree.
Yes,
I don't know if I don't know if this is the environment for that. You make a really good point about that. So, okay, we got 10 seconds till we open here.
Yay.
Let's see what we've got. VVPR, the first one. Let me actually move over to trade the pool here. Go ahead and add this. Bang, bang, bang. All right, let's take a look here. Micron actually is pulling back here in the pre-market. We are open. Look here at Amazon. We'll take a look at some of the smaller movers too. Here's VVPR.
Did you guys want to talk about General GE and how they completed their spinoff so people understand when you're looking at the tickers?
Yeah,
Sure.
I saw that here this morning. Why don't you run through that, Nick? GE was down like 19% here in the pre-market.
Yeah, so GE has completed their split this morning and is now officially 3 separate public companies. So the new breakdown is as follows. GE is going to be GE Aerospace. Ticker GEV is going to be GE Vernova. And GEHC is GE Healthcare Technologies. So that's the new breakdown. They're all publicly listed. We even have them in Benzinga Pro this morning because I double checked. So you can find all those tickers. They are publicly traded. So you have the new 3 separate public companies. So don't get alarmed if you see anything, if anything has been alarmed, but 3 separate public companies now.
And it's not doing a whole lot here this morning. ADTX on the other hand, right at the VWAP, this actually might crack an ADTX.
Yeah. Kind of trying to figure out which direction it wants to go. Probably down. I was hoping for up, but it's looking like it's down. Let's see. Because it really seems like the big 3 that we're going to be looking at of the open here is ADTX, AINC, and VVPR. Those are the ones, I don't know.
Here is VVPR. So far, this is doing a really decent job staying above its VWAP. ADTX just tried to reclaim its VWAP. That's trying to go higher here on ADTX.
Larry Hall, absolutely, it could go down to 18. I agree with that. Don't know if we'll see 18, but I'd say 20 to 18 looks like it would be about where it could go down to. ADTX now coming up. Here we go.
And I think that if you, furthermore on Palantir, I think if you break that night, what I got that at about 1980, the top end of that gap, I think you probably fill that gap. That takes you down to 18 there, Larry.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So that's what I'd be looking for is what you just said. Copper stocks higher. Yeah, we're going to need that copper, especially with all the EVs we want to build. Looks like
ADTX going here.
DJT is having a huge rip out of the open here.
That had a huge sell-off yesterday, so this might just kind of be a regression back to the mean. Remember, DJT filled that downside gap, big down candle yesterday. Again, just be careful with these things. The super volatile, good point here, this ripping off the open.
AINC is looking like it wants to break the pre-market high here. It's getting right up to it. It should be
sure does.
450.
Sure does. Good call there on that 450. That rejected right there. We'll see if this ends up going through. Jay Summers looking like he's trying to add it at 4. I got the VWAP down there at 399.
Get it,
AINC.
Jay. Yeah, it's okay. Did a little bit of trading. I want to see how these 3 kind of spend the first couple minutes of the morning, because now it looks like ADTX wants to go a little bit lower. AINC, we got to 450 and it pulled back a little bit.
Yep.
VVPR, it's just kind of, it went down and found support.
Your cooler real quick here. Sorry for mentioning. I just wanted to mention it before it started moving here. Sitting right at 43 cents. Big block of stock there at 43 cents. Watch if that gets broken here. Did you want me to go back to AINC?
You go wherever you want to, sir.
Morning, Judge. Good to see you. You be careful with that 13.
I was going to say, guys, we are getting reaction from Tesla. Gene Munster says that he believes that Tesla is on the right track and this storm will pass. EVs are a better way to move a car, and autonomy is a better way to get around. Tesla is investing in that future while other car makers are slowing their investment. Vital Knowledge's Adam Crisafulli writes, expectations were quite subdued into this release, but the sub 400K figure managed to still disappoint. And they actually wrote a few days ago that Tesla's already the most hated of the Mag 7 stocks.
Tesla here, that little bounce looks like that's kind of over here. It's trying to move lower. We'll see once Tesla figures out what's going on. Robert saying ADTX nice and halted here. So ADTX, this is a downside move. This thing knifed right through the VWAP into a downside halt here at 464 ADTX.
AINC and VVPR trying to push higher. These are the fun ones today so far. These three.
That AINC is still right up at that 450 area.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely one to watch here, AINC. And XTIA, that was one that you mentioned earlier, right, 13, about this probably doing an offering. First move here out of the open up towards that VWAP.
Yeah, this can do whatever it wants. I'm not interested in trading it. I don't want to get caught in an offering. And they're going to do an offering. I mean, unless there's some other way that they're going to raise cash, it might not work out for me either. I'm not going to be in that one. AINC now at 460, and VVPR could not break the pre-market high of 561 and is kind of going sideways for the moment. See if it can get up there.
I'm gonna sell 1/3 of my position of those SQQQ calls that expire this week. We're gonna book some gains here. Gonna sell 1/3 at 100%.
Nice.
So there
pay
we
yourself
go.
On the way up.
Yeah, pay yourself on the way up. I still have 2/3 of the position, so I want to see a accelerated down move here. But at least if I'm able to get this fill here, I'll have some of that paid off. We'll be in good shape. So we're going to sit there on the offer on that one.
Smoke Tuna with a good point here. Market huge sell off. Be careful playing any breakout. So if you see something ripping to the upside, don't try to get into it then, or chase it. It might not work out for you.
Andy, how's it going, dude? Thank you for joining us. We got to have you back on, man. Hope you are doing well. We miss you out there, Andy.
Remember CXAI from yesterday?
Do I, or are you asking me or Andy?
You.
Yes,
CXAI from
CXAI.
That's halted to the downside right now.
There we go. So here's another one. This actually held up yesterday, but in the pre-market here, starting to get a little rippy to the downside, plunging out of the gate here into a halt.
Wow, CGC, you guys are not kidding whatsoever. These cannabis stocks are ripping.
I was going to say, guys, I don't know if you saw, but once we got economic data yesterday morning, treasury yields moving higher significantly. I believe 10-year is near 4.4 right now. WTI crude, commodities, $84 a barrel. Gold at a record high. I believe gold has been at a record high almost, 20-some days in a row, I believe.
It's been quite a bit.
Yeah, and that should be good for our tech trade. All of that should be good for the tech trade. The tech short trade.
You're referring to the manufacturing and production data that came out earlier this week, yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday. ISM, we had some pretty, I think manufacturing, first time in 17 months, climbed above 50.
Yeah, they were good. It was good print. Yeah, we got to move some of that production back stateside, right?
Indeed.
Let's see what's gonna.
So we've got CXAI and ADTX halted. PWFL looks like this is moving through the VWAP. How's VVPR from our list doing? That is still at the highs.
I think it might be trying to break out right here.
Yeah, but to Smoke Tuna's point earlier, I would be careful in the breakouts. I'd be trying to add some of these names while they're near the bottom, on or near the bottom. Around here, let's take a look here at Tesla.
I sold that pop, and now look at it; it's coming back in. Ooh, that is. Thank you, Smoke Tuna. That worked out really well. I sold that pop over that the intraday high, and now it's coming right back in.
On which one?
VVPR.
VVPR. Let's do it.
Neither. It might still go higher, but that was a good move to get out of. Thank you, Smoke Tuna, for bringing that downside to my attention with these. AINC. I'm just going to call it. It's going sideways. This thing had a pop, and then it came right back into where it was trading before.
TPST popping here. Let's take a look at AINC. I was filled, by the way, on that closing of 1/3 of the SQQQ position. So boom, gains booked. Registering out of the gate here. This is how we start off a day. By the way, ADTX open, moving lower here. ADTX.
Okay, so if this one gets down to about 380, I think I might be a buyer. Just want to see if it can hold that level. Maybe even get down to about 350 to 360. But if it goes down that far, I would probably be interested in this. That would be the level I'll try. Looks like VVPR still trying to push higher. I guess that that down move wasn't it. Wants to get through 539, and it looks like it's going to.
Sorry, just handling something here real quick.
No worries. VVPR, it looks like it still wants to take out that pre-market high of 561. A lot of sell orders in front of it, though.
I was going to say, guys, Bitcoin is down this morning, and at last check, Ether was at its lowest level since March 23rd pre-market. MicroStrategy, Marathon, Robinhood, all down this morning. Bitcoin actually hit a low this morning, 65,064. That'd be the lowest level, I believe, since March 24th.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Sorry, almost done here.
Looks like Bitcoin could stand to go a little bit lower too. Probably to about, what is this? The 62,000 handle.
Okay. Sorry about that, folks. What you were talking about Bitcoin?
Yeah, just kind of speculating how low this sell-off that we've had for the past couple of days could go. You know, I'm thinking probably about 62,000.
Yeah, I think you're probably right on that. You know, it's worth noting here, VIX in the 15s for the first time in how long might be a risk-off appetite for a while. Who knows how low these things can kind of overshoot on some of those moves. Smoke Tuna mentioning MISO. This was one from yesterday. Don't get excited, 13.
Is it halted?
It's not halted yet. It's not halted yet. It's good. That's funny.
Oh, there we go. VVPR blasting off now. $6. Now, just be careful with VVPR if you're looking to get into this one now. I don't think it would be a good idea. It's kind of running, and we have this this weakness in the market, so a pull could be very, very quick. And this is also one that has 1.5 million shares in the float, so pretty low float.
Kingdom Lamb, nice job here.
Yes,
nice little scalp there. Great job. You know, we mentioned this as this being a potential trade here. Breakouts have been tough. This breakout worked. If you booked gains on this, awesome. Your ADTX, by the way, this is still coming in.
Mm-hmm. And it's getting down to where I was looking to try to play this down in the 38.
Moving. Multiple people asking about pick. Pick this actually back to the VWAP and through. This is still going here.
Seems like it's moving slow though. Is it not? I mean, it's moving up, but it's just not having very big moves.
TPST, yeah, no, I agree with you, 13. TPST moving here again. Number of people mentioning this one. I didn't see anything going on with TPST. Robert and Bex, looks like you guys are on TPST here.
All right. Something's happening with Cooler. What's going on here? Oh, I got another contract. That has to be the third contract that's announced in the past month, third or fourth. But it is moving.
TPST ripping here.
All right.
AINC, maybe this is holding here at the VWAP for a potential up move. AINC.
VVPR, now it's 625, 628, 29, 30. It's going up, up, up. I need to set some levels on this thing.
Yeah, this thing's going to keep keep rolling here. This might be the stock. Just be careful of the pull if you're going to trade any of these high flyers.
I had to go to a weekly to actually find the last time it was up here. All right, let's see what we got.
Justin asking, why is Tesla coming back? I mean, that's what stocks do, man. They don't move in single directions. One of the things that we're actually trying to take advantage of are some of these movements, right? If you get that impulse move, it's often followed by some type of regression back to the mean. You can see here, Tesla really kind of sold off in the pre-market. As soon as the market opened, our volume elevated quite a bit exponentially, actually, and buyers are really trying to step back in. This, to me, looks like this is going to go higher than 165 here, maybe close the distance to that 168. A full gap fill brings us all the way back to 171. That'd be a 6-point move if this fills it here today.
VVPR is just ripping.
I was going to say, we just got reaction from Dan Ives, of course, the infamous Dan Ives. He says, while we were anticipating a bad 1Q, this was an unmitigated disaster 1Q that is hard to explain away. We view this as a seminal moment in the Tesla story for Musk to either turn this around and reverse the black eye 1Q performance. Otherwise, some darker days could clearly be ahead, and that could disrupt the long-term Tesla narrative. This was a train wreck into a brick wall quarter for Musk and company, with our estimate that China was down at least 3% year over year. While this quarter, and unlike other times, street criticism is warranted as growth has been sluggish and margins slow, showing compression with China, a horror show and competition increasing from all angles. They maintain their outperform rating.
It's that, you know what, the takeaway for me there is that he's just blaming Musk. None of that stuff that you mentioned is new. We knew about all of that. You can very easily forecast that, but he's going to blame Musk, not some of the overly aggressive EV policies. Okay, good to know.
He's not going to blame
of course not.
China subsidiaries.
Of course not. Why would he do that? ADTX here looking like this just lost 4. This probably coming in a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. Should be. I kind of like it right almost to where it is. Just a little bit lower.
VVPR getting a little bit heavy up here. Would love a pullback to the VWAP on VVPR.
I think you might get that over the next 10 or 15 minutes. If it turns around and starts going higher here, then, wouldn't be unsurprising, but it would just be, a little bit wild.
NASDAQ is trying to hold in here. It's trying to bounce. I don't necessarily want to say that it's going to do that yet, but it's trying to do that. We'll see.
Jeremy, I don't know where you're getting your news. Just messing. Yeah, SQQQ has been really good today.
Glad we were positioned in that since last week. Taking some L's the last couple of days, but doing all right here today on that.
Watch X. You guys remember the acquisition with Nippon Steel?
Yes.
The FT is now reporting that 3 U.S. senators have voiced concern about Nippon Steel's business ties in China opening a new front in a political effort. Sherrod Brown, an Ohio Democrat who chairs the Senate Banking Committee on Monday, asked President Joe Biden to investigate Nippon's business relationships in China. That's according to a letter obtained by the Financial Times. Brown raised concerns based on a report by Horizon Advisory, a consultancy, which said Nippon's market exposure and operations in China created a, quote, material national security risk. She actually sent the Horizon report to Biden, and position was backed by 2 other industrial state senators. That's Ohio Republican J.D. Vance and Pennsylvania Democrat Bob Casey in comments to the FT.
Okay, that first move here was lower on X, Nick. Looks like it's kind of slowing down there. We'll see if X continues to move lower here. Remember, this actually was just coming off of a recent sell-off. It kind of bounced, almost traded down to that 200-day moving average and bounced from there. We'll see where this goes here. Yeah, Jay, this is kind of what I was saying here. I summarized it, didn't go into as much detail here, but come on. The EV market has been awful for months. FSR, bankruptcy, Mullen all-time lows, China names near the lows, Rivian, not all that surprised about Tesla. This is exactly what I was saying there. For Ives to come out and just put the blame solely on Musk, that seems like sour grapes to me. You just got to read through some of that with the analyst notes, though. X still holding this area here.
Yeah, I'd be looking for X to kind of maybe go down to 35, under 36 at least. I don't know how long it's going to take, but that's just what the formation of the pattern that I'm seeing right now implies.
VVPR to me looks like this is kind of setting up for another move to 7. We'll see. It's really got to hold in here. It's starting to kind of flag here. Let's see if this can move back towards 7 VVPR. This is going to be a riskier one. I'd rather trade this after we get some type of knife and hold. I really don't want what's happened on ADTX to start happening here.
Oh, what happened with ADTX is just fine. Just don't buy it, but when it was at the open.
Yeah.
But this is this is kind of one of the things I was looking for with some of these, like these 3 that we were trading. One of these is bound to do this, especially with how much it ran in the pre-market. I would have thought that maybe VVPR could have done that as well. Same with AINC, because that one just kind of went up slowly all morning.
Yeah. ADTX here 365. I think you had a spot there that was 380.
It's just underneath it, so it should If I'm correct, it should reverse pretty soon here, and if I'm wrong, it's going to go through the 200 EMA and under 350.
Here's the thing on ADTX, using the smoke tuna indicator here on that 3-minute chart, this histogram is actually still expanding to the downside. We haven't even started to collapse, and those signal lines not even close to rounding. There might be some more downside. Here. I'm staying away from that. TPST, this came back into the VWAP and bounced. Market kind of holding in here. SPY at that 517. What was that level that you had again?
It was 518.30.
518.30. Okay, so we're a full point beneath that. Looks like maybe we could come back in here a little bit more.
Hey, no, that's fine. SPY can go down, quite a bit, and I'd be fine with it. It can go down 10%, and I'd be fine with it. I've been looking for that.
Yeah, I've been looking for a correction here in the SPY as well.
So let's get that SPY. Let's see some selling. Let's see some rotation out of these Mag 7s. We're down. We're only down like 1.4% off the highs, so we have a ways to go. Probably see a bounce at the 20-day SMA. Don't know how long that'll be support, but I'd imagine we would end up going through that as well.
Just going to kind of look around here at some other names.
Wiz is saying pick getting ready to what? Take a picture.
Here's Zim. Oh, it gave me the wrong ticker. Here we go. Here's Zim. Looks like it's given back some of the gains that it had yesterday. Would like to see this kind of firm up. AINC is another one that we've been watching. Yeah, I'm not in a hurry on Zim. AINC again. This did knife back down to the VWAP. Does look like it's trying to trade back up towards those highs there.
Yeah, with Zim, that's one of the reasons why I was shaving off part of my position yesterday, because that strength we had yesterday was great. It was turned me positive, so I decided to take some profit, and now we're coming back down. And this is just how it works. You buy when it's weak, sell when it's strong.
Took that 43 level that we were talking about earlier. Took a lot of that size out there.
Yes, it did.
We've got bids stacking up at that level here. So we'll see here on Cooler. This is a potential breakout on the daily chart.
Brett, Zim does have a crazy yield. The thing is that yield only occurs if they're profitable. So if they have a negative quarter, then you're not getting anything. So that dividend really does depend on how profitable they are in that particular quarter. And that's why you saw such a good, was it 2021, 2022 was the best year for them, I believe. That's why you saw because the shipping rates were so high at that point. So I don't know what kind of dividend we'll see this year. The shipping rates are going to have an effect this year. It might be for this current quarter we're in.
Good luck predicting when 13.
Yeah,
I mean, that's exactly. You just kind of got to have exposure for that.
Yeah.
Weed sector remaining high as fuck. Sorry for swearing, but that's that's just kind of the joke right there. Entire weed sector is high right now.
Would you say it's lit?
I mean, maybe, but it's definitely high.
VVPR looking like we might get that break here. Once to get over 7, it has a wall to get through 7.
This flag starting to resolve to the upside here. There's that wall at 7. That just got eaten right there. ADTX maybe found a bottom right here. 370, that looks like. Actually, I might have gone a little bit lower.
Yeah, we'll see if that's the right spot.
VVPR still testing that area here. It's pulling back beneath 7. This one a little bit volatile here. ADTX, this might be curling. Yeah, Smoke Tuna, what do you think here? You're our bottom picker. Smoke Tuna doesn't even respond, just gives us another ticker, MISO. And this actually pushing here. This is actually not a bad call at all. CZOO from WIS here. What's going on, WIS? It's like this is popping here. This ran away a little bit.
No, Brett, I don't. I don't do options based ETFs. Just I'd have to look more into them and understand it better before I want to get into something like that. I just do regular commons ETFs.
ADTX not ready. Okay. Jay mentioning the PVH report. Okay, so this stock down big yesterday. I'll go ahead and get you that news here. Jay mentioning lots of other retail getting sold. I'm just going to put random tickers in here. Here's Macy's. This is a little bit lower. How about Abercrombie? This thing's been a monster recently. Even this is lower here. Let me get you that news here on PVH. We'll fill in the blank there. Jay, what other retail? How about Lulu? How about Lulu? Because that was actually a pretty awesome short. Lulu lower here now.
Yeah, I still think that one's going lower.
Yeah, so this was their earnings, and they guided. It was their. We talked about this. It was their guide yesterday that really kind of sank them. This also was a buyback, wasn't it? This was a buyback that didn't really work. I'm pretty sure. Let me see if I can find this one.
I don't know.
$2 billion increase to stock repurchase program. Stock went down like crazy. So the buyback news didn't help this one.
Yeah, because typically when they're this high up and the valuations are this extended, when I see buybacks, I'm thinking, okay, well, they must believe that the stock's coming back down in price.
Indeed.
Very, very, very seldom where I'll look at a buyback and think to myself, oh, they believe their stock's going higher from here. It really depends on where the price is at the time.
Jay mentioning all of the retailers down. Indeed, I haven't found a single one that's not down yet. EKS mentioning Levi minus 5% there. Okay. STXS, look at this thing's ripping here. Was this have any news? By the way, ADTX still curling on ADTX.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Lululemon. What was that other one? Is ACN? I still think those two are. I think ACN's going under the 200-day SMA.
Yeah, we talked about that one. That was that clean bounce off the 200-day. This is now rolling back over. Let's see if we consolidate, or if we can consolidate at or above that 200-day. That'd give us another entry there.
I'd still like to see it trade underneath the 200 for a short time, and then reclaim it, and then I'd be then trade above it for a number of days before it goes up. That's what I'd be interested in seeing.
Jay, real quick, Levi's has earnings tomorrow. So given what we're seeing here in retail, that PVH report, you opening up a new short on Levi's? Maybe use some options to define your risk ahead of the print? Be interested to know what you think about that one. NXL getting mentioned here. This one ripping. Wow, NXL up quite a bit here today.
Look at AINC. That one got a new intraday high. And
this chart, I tell you what, so far this chart looks good. This already yanked once too.
Yeah, and VVPR, that one's holding above 640. Been doing that pretty well for the past 15 minutes. I'd like to see this take out 722, the current intraday high. What happened to SoundHound? I don't know. It went deaf. I mean,
came back down to earth. This actually might be a potential bounce spot. Got a potential head and shoulders forming on the daily. If that was going to continue here, this a possible trade back up towards the 750 handle. What do you think about that, 13?
That looks like a possibility. I can see the formation taking shape as you're describing. So yeah, I'd say about the high that I have from February 27th is 791. So that would probably be up in that area. Maybe as high as 8 would be the best you could hope for. But it looks like we're close to the neckline here. So in the next maybe today or the next day or two, should see it reverse and try to get back up to 8. If that pattern is going to resolve the way it's supposed to.
Yeah, no question.
All right, VVPR, are you going to give us what we're looking for?
We shall see. ADTX still holding that curl here. ADTX.
Yeah, I don't think I had the bottom quite pegged exactly, but if we start to turn around here, this would be the area that I was looking for a reversal. So seems like it's working out for the time being. I don't want a bear flag here. All right.
Jay, we're all friends here. Everyone's friends here. I can't possibly cover everything that I see in here, and I apologize and mention that all the time. Come on now. Jay saying, not playing Levi, Ryan, will say the last 2 quarters weren't great, but the weakness was bought. Okay, so there you go. So despite that report and despite some of the performance there, you're not taking a new position on Levi. Also, not one of the stocks that is traded. I guess, yes, it is. This has traded up into earnings. A little bit of a pullback now. This will be one to watch in the morning and see where that goes. XTAI, this is still kind of flagging sideways here. AINC still up near those highs. We'll see what happens on that one. VVPR flagging as well.
Guys, we just got some economic data, and I want to bring that to you right now. Factory orders month over month for February, 1.4% versus the 1.1 estimate. It was down 3.8% prior. The USA JOLTS job openings for February came in at 8.756 million, better than expectations of 8.76 million. Prior was 8.748 million. USA durable excluding defense month over month for February came in at 2.1 versus 2.2 prior. Market is, well, still down. There's really not much to talk about with the market down. Right, 13?
Well, yeah, I mean, that JOLTS job openings, it's a difference of, what, 4,000 jobs? I think that's, we can call that in line.
I mean, we do get a jobs report Friday that I think is going to set expectations for the Fed meeting.
Yes. We get that before the Fed meeting. We get actually before the next Fed meeting, we get 2 jobs reports, another PCE report, another GDP
CPI.
report.
I believe we get CPI
and CPI as well. We get all those. Yes. The next one's in May. So we're going to get a bunch of reports for the next one. Absolutely. AINC, it looks like it wants to take out 479.
Okay. Sorry about that.
No problem. I'm not liking the way that these upper shadows are looking on VVPR. Makes me feel like 640 could give away at some point.
Let me bring VVPR up here.
We'd need to see this move up soon. Otherwise, I think it's headed down. Devon and Chevron are ripping. I mean, hey, that's what you were saying, Nick. Oil. Let's take a look at the XLE. How's that doing today? Well, it's up 1.4%. It's not good for inflation either, folks. We don't want to see oil rising when we're trying to have rates get cut.
No, we don't.
AINC made a new high. At least that's working out. We still need to see VVPR push up past 722. And ADTX needs to confirm the bottom. What's pronounced all? What I miss?
Pick looking like this is actually trying to break out here. Holding right at the VWAP, looking like it's trying to break through the $7 level on Pick.
Oh man, I get you now, Jerry. If I was from Louisiana, that'd probably be the way I say it. Oh, I just did a crawfish boil, so I know how that works. SQQQ, the big down move here.
Yeah, the market is bouncing, but this is why we pay ourselves on the way up. That way we can sit through some of these bounces and not even worry about it.
See that Wisdom is a fellow holder of XLE. I've been holding XLE for a while. Since my average cost is 76.82.
Tesla's still kind of holding out at that area here on that bounce. Stopped the bleeding, but hasn't really recovered any of that down move yet. Not much of it anyway.
Speaking of moves, VVPR broke the 722 intraday high and then immediately went down beneath 640.
Those topside range breaks, man, they've been there's a period, there will be a period again where those work, where those break and keep moving. But right now the break and the pull's making it very, very difficult to trade that.
Yeah,
it's something that's been like that for a while.
It'll be when there's more participation in the market and when there's more risk on. We'll get back there one day.
CXAI reclaiming that VWAP there.
Since we're talking about old girlfriends, XLO from yesterday is also having a pretty decent day on what I think is low volume. We keep seeing MESO. That one's still pushing.
It keeps grinding higher here on MESO. That had that one decent move on that pullback to the VWAP and a move right back, but otherwise just been kind of grindy.
Let's see if we get some resistance around 650.
Yeah, Jane, it's been a little bit rough. Just kind of paying myself on a swing. Day trading not been the best recently, but that's okay. It's okay.
Oh, DJF. Yeah, I don't know that I'd lose faith in the market, but I absolutely would lose faith in the SEC. Absolutely there. I mean, it's the regulatory body that didn't do its job.
Yeah, and all you have to do to avoid it is just not buy it.
So I think
buy it. If you don't trust it, just don't buy it.
I get that, but I think to his point, it's because it's even allowed to be listed.
Yeah, at some point though, people got to be able to look out for themselves. You can't be relying on somebody else to look out for you. That's an absurd your entire life. So I go back and forth on this. Yeah, SEC's got to be there to help, but I mean at the same time, like if you're looking at something and it looks funny and it smells funny, guess what? It's probably funny. Don't buy it. It's not complicated.
Something about if it looks and smells like shit, it's probably shit.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to go there. I've already kind of swore a little too much. I was trying to dial it back, but you're right.
That's fine. I haven't used my my quota yet. Yeah.
I mean, exactly.
All right, looks like SQQQ is trying to come back now. Market said, "Hey, let's buy," and everybody else said, "No."
Yeah, and I expect that volatility to maintain. Again, that was part of the reason why we sold on the way up. That strategy has been working. Works in ETFs, calls, and stack. Works for day trades and swing trades. How many times has our chat been telling us about booking gains on the way up on some of the swings? Absolutely love that.
We have a smart chat.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. Let me tell you something, Jeremy. The bleep button, fun to use. Fun to use. The only problem is that I don't hear it. in my ear. I know it goes out there.
Oh, don't worry. We hear the ringing. Ha! Thanks, Voodoo. All right. ADTX, what do you got for us? You coming back now? I mean, I'm happy that it's been holding around this area that I thought it could stop and reverse, but it just hasn't reversed yet.
Hey, I just want to point out, we were talking about this potentially bottoming, and I asked Smoke Tuna when it was curling, and he said, not ready yet. And so far, it hasn't been ready yet. So that call's been pretty good so far here on ADTX. We are starting to see this MACD histogram compress now. Let's see if that actually swings green. The signal lines are slowing their pitch down. Would love to see those curl up as well. So potential here on ADTX for a setup. And actually looking at the chart here, it's really got to get above. Looks like it's tested this 397 area twice. Got to think a move through 4 here. Maybe we move back up towards that VWAP. I've got that at 464 and Trade the Pool and 470 and Thinkorswim. So right in that same area.
Yeah, it's looking good. I'm paying myself on the way up per the strategy suggested by the chat. And
there we go. There we go. That's what I want to hear, 13. VIX, by the way, still holding above that 15 handle, 1514. Highs there were 1520. Market does look like it's kind of rolling back over here. Let me bring up a chart of the Qs. You can see we did bounce back to the VWAP. Let's see if we can actually turn around here.
Richard King, the FTC is anti-everything. They don't want no Americans having a good time.
Steven asking, good morning, everyone. I'm trying to get into day trading. Any help on how I can start? Good morning and welcome. If you join us, we will often do day trading here. It's us plus the community looking for plays. If you're looking for more formal education, we've got a service here for you, a trading school, whether it's options or stock. That you can get involved with that will also kind of teach you about using pro within your trading. So we definitely have some options here, Stephen. I'm going to go ahead and drop one of my teammates' emails here in the chat. That way you can reach out to them directly and see what some of those services are and if they would help you. So here at Stephen, please email James, and here is his email address. So go ahead and reach out there. We can definitely help. This show here, we don't necessarily go step by step. We just kind of roll through the process and what we're doing, not intended to be financial advice.
If we, it is. If we spent the morning just telling everybody what a bid and an ask is and all the basics, we'd never get to trading.
Exactly.
But I would absolutely, definitely suggest trying to learn the basics of how to buy and sell and what the different types of orders are, the bid and ask, and the spreads. Get all that basic information in your head as soon as you can before you start day trading. It'll make your life a lot easier. Yeah,
day trading, the more difficult aspect of trading, if you ask me.
A bottle of bourbon and a pad of paper and a pencil, and you can learn all you need here.
Bottle of bourbon. Oh, wisdom. We love it. Yeah. Rustam, appreciate the shout out here. Looking at MDIA. It's been a while since we've taken a look at that one, haven't we? That's because this is just a penny stock. This is just 88 cents here. What I will say here, at least for today, volume not really notable, fairly in line with yesterday, although this is starting to curl up towards those pre-market highs. Maybe we make another run at $1 here. I'll tell you what, though, man, we don't have a whole lot on these penny stocks. 13, you got anything on MDIA?
Let me take a look at this. I don't know anything off the top of my head. Let's see, we got earnings in 2 weeks. We're just trying to figure out why it's moving. Or what's the thought here with this one? See that we have a 3.1 million share float. No reverse splits. Not heavily shorted. What does this even do? A radio broadcasting media company?
Yeah, not sure on this one. I would stay away from this just because of the penny structure. And really quickly, Becca, this is good feedback here. Bring back a chart show like the one Neil used to host. Not sure if we have that kind of capacity in the lineup. But we probably could make a library of videos for that. Might even be able to talk 13 into helping with that. Maybe we could make some of the like a chart library or something like that. This is a good idea. I'll think about this one. Let that one marinate a little bit.
Neil was great with charts.
Yeah, he really is. By the way, ADTX here. This is trading back up to 4. Watch ADTX here on a move through 4 potentially. Market looks like it's trying to go lower here. By the way, SPY new lows now.
It's hard for me to wrap my head around this MDIA one because on one hand they own 2 radio stations. One of them, both are in New York. They're that city's not doing great right now, and they generate their revenue from advertisements and sponsorships, and ticket sales. The thing that's really interesting is that they have about 64% institutional ownership. So some institutions believe that there's something going on here with this that's worth holding on to, but with revenue at about 6.5 million, I don't know what it is that they see. I can't really give you a good idea. I have to dig deeper into this one in order to give you a better answer. But that's about all I see right now with MDIA is that they own 2 radio stations.
Jay here mentioning I got one name green in my big cap watch list, JPM. Jay, I have the exact same thing. I actually have 2 names because I also have Tyson on there, and Tyson is barely hanging on. In fact, Tyson is up 4 cents. So it is barely hanging on to green. Definitely looks like a risk-off day. Glad I was positioned to the downside going into today.
Tyson Foods?
Very fortunate.
That's the one you're saying, Tyson Foods?
Yeah, TSN, ticker TSN. Sorry for the confusion there.
No worries. Oh, wonderful. This is behaving quite nicely. Got right up to a resistance level.
Still want that in the mid to low 40s, by the way. Ticker TSN. Sorry, I haven't really been switching the ticker here because I've been rolling through some other stuff. But on the daily chart here, would love this back in the 40s for kind of a longer term hold. Not even a trade, but more of a hold.
9 out of 10 options plays. Nothing makes sense anymore. I agree with that. There's nothing. This market hasn't really made a whole lot of sense. Sometimes it does, but for the most part, we're just like, hey, hold on and enjoy the ride up.
Make sure. Well, one of the things we've been saying is make sure you book gains when you have them. That's been the key.
Just keep your hands and arms inside the vehicle at all times. It's about to get wild. But as far as Tyson goes, it would be nice to see it get down to there. And I think I probably still have my limit orders out there if it does, but it's been a while. The thing is that it's interacting really nicely with these levels that I have on here from the really big events. We just bounced off of resistance from the 2022 low, where that day employees quit and a winter storm suspended operations. Oh, yeah. Levels matter, sir.
Yes, indeed. What level do you have if this SPY move continues down currently at 516? Jay's Life, what level do you have here for the market if this continues to pull back? You can actually take a look at a longer term chart here if necessary, too.
Well, guess what? We have come down to the 20-day SMA. So we can cross that off as well. Let's see. We're almost there. We barely got down there. I think I have it at 516.34, and the low we put in was 516.48. So almost there, but that would be the next level that we should see some support from. And if that fails, I have 515.50.
All right, Jeremy, have a great day. Thanks for joining us again here this morning. Love that you're waking up and getting money before going to your job. That is how it's done. Good stuff here. VIX at highs, folks. And by the way, Bitcoin, I know we were talking about that. That really kind of sold off, bounced off that 65,000 level exactly on the futures chart. Currently at 66,235. So it looks like we're starting an up move here in Bitcoin. That's actually bucking the rest of the market here. SPY, Dow, Qs, all at lows here. How's gold doing? Looks like some of those gold names holding in here a little bit higher. Yeah, Lion Atlas really. This is a big one here. This is why you need to learn to not chase stocks that move up so much. This is one of the reasons why you see me being conservative with some of these runners here, trying to actually stick to a decent entry instead of chasing. Chasing by far has caused me to lose more than any other lever or mechanic
Let me
in
ask you,
trading.
Ryan. Let me ask you two questions. First, have you ever had a dog chase your car when you were trying to get away and it just came running after you? You ever had a dog chase your car?
No.
I've seen it. I've had a dog chase my car. The second question, if you said yes, or if you've ever seen a dog chase a car, is did they catch it?
No.
There you go.
Okay.
So
Well,
my analysis point.
I can appreciate the example there, but I've actually never seen a dog chase a car.
I've had a dog chase a car. I've never seen a dog catch a car. And I think that analogy is important here. Because if a dog can't chase and catch a car, what chance do you have chasing and catching these stocks?
Fair point. Fair point. Okay, really quickly here. What did I miss there?
Depends on the car.
Jay's life. I appreciate you giving me an answer here. I was asking what level you had. You had 516.48. We're currently at 516.74, so we are approaching that level. We'll see if we end up bouncing there or if we move lower here. Multiple calls, by the way, on LIFW. This is another small stock. I guess 13. You could consider this one an ex-girlfriend. This actually popped in the after-hours session. Sold off here this morning. Looks like buyers bringing this back up. Looks like a dollar test is coming. I'm going to pass on LIFW.
You can get other W's in life. Just not with Life W. God, my jokes are so terrible, but I think
that one I didn't even get. That one was so bad I didn't even get it. I'm not going to lie.
You're just talking about Life W, and I was
I
like,
love you the same amount, but that one, yeah, that was brutal.
Oh man, that's okay. I'll go laugh about it after the show.
Dan Ives is currently on CNBC right now.
What do you think of his shirt? I mean, I'd wear that only on a golf course. I'd never wear that onto a financial show, but I don't think that one's bad. I like the jacket.
I can't compete with any of his outfits.
Yeah,
I know
you know what, Nick? Fair point. Neither can I. But actually,
that my outfits, but me going against Dan Ives will never work.
I don't know.
I should have just led with that.
We need to start a GoFundMe for Nick's competition outfit. Yeah, it's great to stand out. It's like being loud without having to shout.
13's full of them, man. He's full of those one-liners.
I'm full of something. That's for sure.
Wasn't even going there, but hey. See if we can get another leg down here in this market. We'll probably close off another third of that SQQQ call position. If we get another leg down here.
I mean, the SPY is kind of bouncing really nicely off of being close to the 20-day SMA, but it's not enough. But it's just interesting that support held up like it did. I don't expect it will hold up forever. I think we're still going lower.
See if we end up getting that here.
I was going to say, guys, the S&P has not seen a 2% drawdown since November 14th. That's coming from Mike Zicardi on X, and we haven't seen a drawdown that big. We're currently down, what is it, about 1%. So we'll see if we can hold these levels. But Tesla is back down to 33% on year-to-date losses compared to the S&P, which is significantly still higher. So once again, do you continue with a Mag 7 or do we go with the Fab 4? Or do you just get rid of tech altogether?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to get rid of it. Every time that we've talked about getting rid of tech, it's come back blazing. So I'm not going to do that, especially with AI still being a backdrop. I'll use whatever the names that the talking heads are using because it's going to allow other people to understand what stocks I'm talking about. There's nothing that's going to change me from looking at stocks like Apple, Google, Netflix. I don't necessarily want to throw Meta in there, but you guys, the chat community brings up Meta quite a bit. So we'll end up checking out Meta as well. You call them whatever you want. I'm still going to look at them. These are important companies, whether they fit into, whatever the group or the popular name or the little pet name, whatever you want to call it, whatever that fits into, these are still important stocks. We'll keep checking on them no matter what.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to be holding tech. I'm not necessarily buying it, nor am I selling it.
Yeah, I mean, again, full disclosure here, the only position that I have long-term hold on Apple, again, with after splits, my cost basis is in the 20s. So there's no way I'm going to be closing or opening positions with that. I'm in that for the long term. Definitely not selling that here.
But if Apple does get down to 165, I will be, starting my position.
Potential add. Yeah. And I'd be interested in doing some shorter term trading around my core position as well if Apple does kind of pull in. Also worth noting in terms of tech, I'm also long a swing on SSYS, that 3D printer. That trade didn't necessarily work out all that well, at least not yet.
Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, real quick. I wanted to address something here. Missed this earlier. Hope Dylan is still here. Dylan's saying, are you still looking at VKTX? And Dylan, this is a great question. I know I had booked this for some gains. Then like the very next day, we got even more gains in it. Yes, I'm still looking at this. If we take a look here at the daily chart on VKTX, I want to see if we do pull back to 60. Do we hold that? If we end up setting a higher low on the current pullback that we're in, like if we kind of turn around right here, might watch it again. Still kind of in this floating island formation. This is one of the formations that I talk about all the time. One of my favorite upside formations of all time, just because it resolves to the upside so often. This pop to new highs here, a back test of that channel, and then a move back up towards 100. We still have not retested 100. So I think that move is probably still here, but I'm not a buyer of this at the moment right now, and I have no position.
I'd really like to see, we were talking about waste management yesterday in happy hour, and I'd really like to see some more weakness or some weakness in these waste management names, because they're going to have business. They're going to always have business. And waste management, WM has been doing really well.
Yeah. And this chart is crazy. I mean, you look at here, we'll go back to pro here real quick where we can see sorry about that, guys, where we can see the real big chart here. We were to your point about us talking about this yesterday. I mean, look at this chart here on waste management.
Yeah.
This is long-term. This is absolutely the type of stuff that I want to own here. Now, one of the things I said is that you used to sit on a condo board working with waste management. It's like working with the mob, but that's neither here nor there. Yeah, market trying to bounce off the bottom, by the way. We just talked about that sell-off. It is trying to bounce here. We'll see if it ends up catching a little bit here or not.
What's up
back to trade the pool
with DJT? Oh, it's probably just getting some bids with how often or how much it sold off yesterday. So we're seeing the opposite side of the trade. I don't think it's going to get back up to where it was yesterday, but I think that's just one of the reasons why we're seeing this upside movement this morning. I don't think it's on any material news.
We got just definitely some volatility here. This 51 area. This looks like a possible resistance area prior. Stock looks like here today it's actually trying that, right? It's staying between 47.50 and this 51.50. I suppose we can see what's going on if this breaks and moves higher here.
See Smoke Tuna mentioning XTIA. This one has curled. It looks like it wants to push through this pre-market consolidation. So if it gets that, it'll probably see over 4. Not one for me to trade. I just don't want to be caught in when they do an offering, because if they're going to continue with their business, they need to do one.
Working with Otis Elevator is like working with the mob. I've worked with Otis a little bit. Also TKE. I do prefer TKE to Otis, but that's funny. Reddit. How's Reddit doing here? I'm still. Do you have like the urge to trade this? I still don't. I have no problem kind of waiting this out. I was actually looking at Rubric IPO information last night, ticker RBRK. Don't know when that's happening yet, but do you feel like you need to trade Reddit? 13, anybody?
Me? Oh, no, I want to wait for 23.50.
Yeah, I'm waiting for much lower too. Sorry, Nick, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, we talked about that earlier, and I think we all agreed. I don't understand the full totality of Reddit. I don't know how you can trade something that I'm not. I really don't understand their business, their methodology, their environment. I don't know how you make money regarding something like this.
Yeah, I think the going public is just going to scare away their users.
Yeah, like I've been saying for a while, I just felt like it was late.
Yeah, late, and not. It's going from being beholden to its users to being beholden to shareholders. So Now, whatever gets posted on Reddit, if an advertiser doesn't like it, I'm sure they're going to complain to Reddit to take it down. And then all of a sudden you have all these users going, well, what's the point of even being on Reddit anymore? Because it's going to get taken down.
Pick here, this rolling back over, and then also VVPR. This also kind of moving to the VWAP. Pick beneath the VWAP, VVPR right there at the VWAP. Someone mentioned STSX earlier. Yeah, this ripped out of the gate here. It looks like that impulse move is done.
It's a nice formation, though. If it can hold, it looks like it's trying to hold that VWAP there. If it can hold that, it's probably got some more upside.
VRSN is up. Take a look at VRSN.
I don't know that DJT goes back to 61 like it did yesterday. That'd be wild. Not to say that it couldn't, but I don't think it does.
That thing can do whatever it wants.
Sure it can.
And I would caution people trying to use fundamentals too often on that. It's not trading on fundamentals. NXL here, by the way, this had I know several people are trading this one here. It's had a nice move up back to the VWAP. Looks like it's trying for a second move.
Let's see if VVPR can turn around here. It's looking like it's getting support. I like those. Starting to push up right now, actually. ADTX is setting up. I mean, it certainly seems like it's, wanted to put that bottom in at about 365. Seems to be the big level that it's getting, which is interesting too, because if you draw a line at 365 and you look at the pre-market, that's about the highs that that we had there, and then you look even further.
I'm sorry, which ADTX?
Yeah, sorry, ADTX. It's getting support at the 365 level, which is about where you had the highs from pre-market, which is also about the midway portion of the consolidation from after hours trading the day before. So, pretty good level. See if it holds.
ADTX, I think it's got to move out of this area at some point here. Definitely one to keep on watch. Bitcoin still move on its move up.
Yeah,
here,
VVPR recovering.
New.
VVPR is recovering. It tried to push back up over 640. So if this one is going to recover, it's got to climb all the way up and take out 763. But first, we need to see some closes over 640.
ESPR, decent looking daily chart and hourly chart here. This looks like a potential break above 290 on ticker ESPR. Some size at 295 here today.
XTIA, the one that we were just looking for a breakout, that failed. Got rejected from that consolidation in pre-market
there.
Seeing anything else? Let's take a look at SPY, see what we got here. I see nothing interesting. I look at what the broader market's doing.
Yep.
Well, and this is interesting too, because man, almost touched the 20-day SMA, and it has been moving up ever since.
Joe, your cooler 1 cent away from entering a gap. That gap fills at 58 cents, so it's only 8 cents there, but that's still pushing up here.
It's 8 cents higher.
HYMC, Carmen, it's like you were on to something this morning, Carm. Where you at? Register ring. Look at this. HYMC. This is Highcroft Mining. Carmen brought us this earlier. Didn't really have any volume. Out of nowhere, here comes the volume stock moving now. Up 50 cents from that breakout. Nice call here, Jonathan. Jonathan, glad you were keeping an eye on this. Where's Carmen?
Is this a relative volume play?
I mean, I don't think so.
I think it is. I think it's a relative. Sorry, look at the daily. Look at the daily, and you'll see why. I think this is a relative volume play. I don't see the news. I think that's what it has to be.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. the last two, I mean, if you take today out, yesterday was a decent volume day. That was one.
Right.
Today we're having some continuation. So maybe the other here, let me show you what I'm taking a look at here. The other thing here is that yesterday we went right to the 200 day. And today now we're pushing away from the 200 day on volume here. So this actually looks pretty good here. I don't think Carmen's here anymore, unfortunately. Great call though, Carmen. This is what I mean about our chat. Given this was not on my radar earlier. I might have even poo-pooed this a little bit earlier. This is a great little move here. Jonathan, appreciate you bringing this up. Someone thank Carmen when they see her next for bringing this one up too.
Now, I don't know if we're going to get much more movement after today on this because the RSI is up to 81. So this is quite overbought. So if the next move could be if there's going to be some more bullishness on this, the next move could be a couple, maybe a few days of some selling. But as long as the 200-day SMA holds up the price, then it has the potential to go higher. Just look at the 200-day SMA has done to this stock.
Yeah.
Every time it tries to get up and over it, it gets rejected. So if we get a close over the 200-day SMA and we continue to and we can trade up above that, that's a resistance turn support level.
Here's the last one. Here's the last one that I found, by the way, real quick. This is from Monday, August 1st, 2022. We broke above the 200-day and closed above it. The very next day, we closed beneath it. Yeah. And I don't see another close above this until potentially today. So food for thought there.
Yeah. Big, important moving average to be getting over. I thought I saw ADTX in the chat. Maybe I'm just looking at, I'm seeing things. But it's still going sideways. AINC still sideways. VVPR still wants to try to take out 640. Hasn't done it yet, but it's not falling, so it's still possible. Looks like we're getting some of these stocks that have sold off this morning to turn around a bit. Not sure how long that's going to last. What's everybody else seeing? MSOS, super strong relative to the market. Let's take a look at MSOS. Oh, Cannabis ETF, okay. That is not a bad looking chart. I mean, it looks like it's trying to recover. Like it's been curling. What do you think, Ryan, for MSOS?
Sorry.
This is no problem. This is a Cannabis ETF.
Let me go back to I was lost trying to do something else here for work. I'm sorry about that.
No problem. And then we'll look at Oust. So if you look at a daily chart on this one, it looks like it's trying to recover.
The MSOS?
Yeah.
This looks like it's trying to break out of here at about 1072.
Yeah.
Eddie Backstrap was, I see. Okay, I mentioned it's super strong relative to the market, rolling over my leaps to 2026 and selling the short-term puts. Okay. Understand what you're trying to do there.
Yeah, I like the way this is looking. But let's take a look at OUST that Smoke Tune is mentioning here. Oust. This thing, okay. So this thing is trying to, it looks like it's trying to break out. It's been consolidating most of the morning, trying to get back above pre-market levels. This seems like it's very slow moving, but it looks like it's trying to expand the volume. I guess maybe it's worth a watch. Looks like DJT is trying to push up higher, got up to 52.69, and it's coming back in. So if it can get above 52.75, the next level I have for this one to the upside would be $55. Yeah, VVPR, it looks like it's getting ready. Your Oust target is 1120. Okay, I'm going to take a look at that. Now, what's the 1120 based off of? Is that previous price action? It might be.
Okay. Let me mute my notifications here. I'm going to put this away. I'm sorry. I keep getting so distracted. Folks. And real quickly here, just to kind of set the stage, we are actually going to have AB hop on here at 10:50, but we'll be back at 11 for Anne Marie's option show. So keep that in mind. Until then, however, we're going to keep rolling through here.
Wow. CVX. That's this was a good stock. I owned this stock a while back, and I sold out of it and switched to ETFs for oil. But I got this when it was down in the 60s. I sold it. It was in the 120s. Still waiting for that VVPR to do something.
NXL back up towards its highs here. Carmen, there you are. Carmen, did you miss the entire discussion here on HYMC? We were shouting you out and giving you register rings for this one. You mentioned this right at the beginning of the morning, and then out of nowhere, we get this volume pop here. Great stuff on bringing this one here.
Yeah, Carmen, what brought your attention to that one?
I think she was already holding this.
Okay. I don't know about AINC. This thing looks like it wants to roll over. Wow.
Yeah, Carmen, it's okay. It's okay. You don't have to be sorry. Just making sure that we were shouting you out here. This was a great call. You called this before it started moving, which was always helpful.
I'm being told to take a look at SBR, Sabine Royalty Trust. So this is probably a REIT, right? No. Oil and gas consumables. Let's see here.
Hey guys, I do got to run. I'm having some technical issues on my front regarding Wi-Fi and stuff, so I'm going to try and get that fixed and see if I'll be able to come back.
Cool. Stay safe. Good. If not, we'll be keep the seat warm for you tomorrow, my man.
Thanks. Yep. See you guys tomorrow.
Take care, Nick. Thanks for breaking news. We'll keep doing it. Smash up the like for Nick on his way out here, joining us even during school. I know he's off, but even during school with tech issues. Go ahead and smash up the like for my man, Nick. Nick, we'll see you tomorrow.
Good stuff, Jay Summers. All right. Oh, wow. That's a nice yield on this Sabine Royalty Trust. Where do they operate out of? Okay.
See what
Thank
else.
you for this one. I'll take a look at it. A little bit deeper look.
People are trading here. ADTX. I tell you what, man, this is worth watching if it goes through 4. Let's see what happens if it moves through 4. But man, it's just taking its sweet time, isn't it?
Yeah. When it got down to that level I was talking about, I started buying it, and when it popped over and didn't go up and very much higher, I sold it. So I'm just not going to be in this one anymore. ADTX.
Daniel, no idea if CXAI will come back tomorrow. I would imagine it would need news. I have no idea what's on deck here.
Sorry, who knows when,
dude? Yeah,
who knows when some of these will come back?
Yep. Sometimes they don't. That's something else to keep in mind with some of these kind of smaller, junkier names. They don't. How's some of the other stuff? How's Lulu doing here? Yeah, rough day for retail.
So I'll tell you this thing about CXAI that I see on the chart. We did have that run to over 7 yesterday, and now we're down into this channel that we created back in August and September of 2023. It's between $4 and $5, and that's where we're trading right now. We're trading in this consolidation channel. If you look at a daily chart, you can see the $4 to $5 consolidation I have on, or that I'm referring to. I don't know. Maybe it might be different on it.
No, I'm just getting to another. This is what you're talking about, right? This consolidation,
right in there. That's kind of where we're trading around right now. So I don't know if it's going to break down out of that or break up into and try to go back to 7, but that's where we're kind of dealing with. This is that consolidation right there. So look for either a breakdown over under 4 or a breakout over 5. that should give you an idea of where this is headed. When it did, okay, so you're referring to SPR. Okay.
Here's VVPR. This actually coming up off the VWAP here.
Yeah, this one wants to retake 640.
CGC Cannabis names on volume and at the highs here. Good shout, Robert and Market Sniper.
Yeah, VVPR wants to get back over 640, but I don't know that it's going to get the volume. It needs more volume.
Jay mentioning Tilray, that has the same chart as some of these other pot names here. What SPY ETF do you use? SPY. SPY is the ETF.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, looks like it has enough volume to get over 640. Can it stay over 640? Not looking great. Top 5 names return over the last 30.
What's the question?
Jay Rice has got some trivia.
So we got another trivia question here. Tuesday trivia. Top 5 names return over the last 30 years. How many can you get? 30 years. Well, God, those got to be tech names, right? I got to say Apple's probably in there. I'd imagine. Yeah. Tesla. Did I get 2 of them?
I mean, I'd have to think that maybe NVIDIA and Microsoft are probably also in there as well. Probably Meta too. Oh yeah, Chipotle is a good.
Chipotle, that would be a real good one.
I mean, I got to think back, to before the pandemic when things were just absolutely skyrocketing.
Adding this in here, S&P names only. S&P names only. Okay, so I got Apple. Chipotle, I would put in there. So I'm going to stop my guessing and let the chat continue to guess here.
Yeah,
Amazon is number 1. Okay, we mentioned that too. So we got 2 of them so far.
Cat and deer would probably be some. I don't think they're the ones he's looking for, but those are some pretty big gainers over the past 30 years.
Carm here. Here's NRIX. Looks like this is a move off the bottom here. What's going on with this one?
There was an absolute fight for 640 with VVPR. I think we might have a winner. No, maybe not.
Are they taking it out here?
They keep going over it, and it keeps falling right back under. There's just a fight going on here. It's kind of fun to watch. But
645 again, looks to be the spot stopping it, right?
Probably. Let's see. Yeah, 645.
VIX coming in a little bit. That's interesting to see. Maybe the market's done, can go higher here.
Looks like AINC is trying to make another push.
Indeed, that's coming up off the VWAP.
Things just seem to be going sideways for the moment. Hayes, that slow mover from yesterday, still slow moving up.
All right, just a couple of minutes and we're going to get good old AB on here. Or quick all access, and we're going to come back and do Anne-Marie.
Yeah, we're starting to slow down here a bit.
Yeah, we sure are. Looking around, I don't see really anything moving like crazy.
This might be one of those days where we kind of just have to.
How about those healthcare stocks? Anyone got any trade ideas on the healthcare stocks like Humana? What were some of the UNH would have been another one. This is all coming down on that news yesterday about Medicare costs.
The Part D.
Yeah, Part D. Yeah. EVLV, I think, was another one. Evolved Technologies. No. What was the other? God, Zoltan gave it to me yesterday. I'm drawing a huge blank. Anyway, UNH and Humana, 2 of the bigger ones there. Anyone looking for trades on these?
Let me bring up UNH. I owned that a while back and haven't been in it for a while. I think it's probably headed lower. I don't know. I don't like the formation of UNH's chart. It looks like
Humana either. I mean, I when this sold off last time, I was thinking, this is a big institutionally held stock, probably a bottom, probably a floor under this. Ended up taking a butterfly. Well, that is smoked now. That is smoked now. I should check in on that, see if I can manage that.
Let's see what I can, come up with for downside targets here. Well, we're already almost 18% off the highs for UNH.
Butterfly flew away. Indeed, it did. CVS, Jay, you're asking about CVS.
That's it. That's the one. I think that's the other one that Zoltan mentioned.
That was one of them, but there was another one that had E in it. CVS here. Yeah, I mean, I do like some of these. This is actually at the 200-day. So let's take a look here real quick. Let's see what we can come up with here. CVS. Okay, so here you go on CVS. So here's what we're looking at. We're going to sell off here right to this 200-day moving average. Now, you can see that the last time that we moved through the 200-day right up here, look how that was December 15th of 2022. We didn't get back above the 200-day until December 6th of 2023. So we spent almost a full year beneath that 200-day. Now here we are testing it. So if we can consolidate around this without really kind of breaking beneath it, I'd like that for a potential long. And I don't think it's out of the question to get $80 here on a move back up. Let's see what it does at this 200-day. If we break this, I'd be concerned. And if we break this, then one of the other things that we'd watch, we want to see, do we continue to build under that 200-day, or do we reclaim it in short order and get several closes above it? Because if that happened, then I would say, okay, well, we kind of tested the area beneath the 200-day. Buyers took us right back above. Now we're closing several times above that. I'd still put the long on there on CVS. I like this if it can hold a 200-day. If not, I'd want to see a reclaim, or I'd want to wait that out and do some more tech analysis on it.
Glenn D has a good.
You're welcome, Jay.
Glenn D has a good point here with UNH. It's the price is right down near the 200-week moving average.
So here is UNH, total huge break beneath the 200-day. But if we flip over to a weekly chart, this is exactly what he's talking about. You're right on there.
Yeah, so that would be the next support for this one. And if that doesn't hold, I'd probably end up looking towards the 50-month moving average, which is at about 441.50. Now, if those two moving averages that we're talking about, if those don't hold, for me, the downside is probably to 400. That would be my first. My first guess.
Look at look at Humana. Here's the other one that we were I was like, look how ugly this is. Right, this looks bad on a number of time frames here. The daily, it's below all of the moving averages. Right, below them all. It's really kind of riding this 20-day. If we go over to the weekly, we actually just snapped beneath the 500-day. That is beneath all of the moving averages. And if we move over to the monthly, we have the 200-month coming up here at 214. I tell you what, chart doesn't look good for Humana. I'd love to know what you guys think about this Humana chart.
Well, let's see how down off the highs are we? 47%. Well, I'd have to think that we're probably going to find a bottom in Humana soon. That's what I would think.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that the last time this moved down, and we never really did. Right, another gap down here. That's interesting.
I'm just kind of surprised that this would have such an impact on the company that it's just going to give back the entire price action it's had since the pandemic. Like, we're back to pre-pandemic levels here.
All right. AB, you all set to go, dude? Boom, thumbs up. There
All
he
right.
is. What's going on, AB? I was expecting you to join.
What is up, y'all? 13 and Ryan, how y'all doing today?
We're doing pretty
Pretty
good. How
good.
about you?
Good. How are those Cubbies looking, Ryan?
Well, they just got a big win on their home opener yesterday. Imanaga dominated. So
Nice.
I'll take that.
Did you get down to Wrigleyville, celebrate?
I have not yet, but I will at some point this year. Maybe you'll join me. I know you're
Let's
a
do it.
Cardinals
Let's
fan,
find
but
it,
maybe we'll have some fun. We're really going to come down to, is Justin Steele seriously hurt, or was just a cramp? We'll see.
Yeah, we'll find like a weekend. The Cubs are in town playing the Cardinals are in town playing the Cubs, and I'd love to come down there.
That'd be fun, dude. That'd be a lot of fun.
Game day in the Wrigleyville area is like during the summer. Got to be one of the best places in the U.S.
It absolutely is. I'm glad that you can admit that. That's awesome.
Well,
what do you got coming up here, AB?
We have a very special all access today. So again, if you guys have tuned in to our show live trading before, you've probably seen our all access where we get to connect with company executives, listen to the story about these companies straight from the people that are running them. What makes this one so special is not only is it a company that I'm sure a lot of our audience will be interested in using and learning more about, but it is in person. So without further ado, let's go ahead and introduce Ryan from Smart Trader Prop. Ryan, how you doing today? Smart Prop Trader. Sorry, I knew I screwed that up when I was going to. Can we get Ryan on the screen? There we go. Smart Prop Trader. Before we get into the specifics about the platform, Ryan, why don't we just go over some of the basics of prop trading? I'm sure that a lot of our audience is already familiar with prop trading, but some out there may not be.
Yeah, so I like to think of it as like kind of an educational platform to becoming an actual trader with live capital. Prop trading is simulated capital, so it gives someone a chance to come and take a couple step evaluation. Like in our case, we have a 2-step evaluation. And if you pass that, then you graduate to what they call a live account, and then you can share in profits. The idea is to learn the trade and then to continue and kind of go and grow and move on and go into like a live brokerage account. So it gives people access to heavier leverage and more capital than they would normally have access to for an actual smaller fee. Got it.
What does that evaluation process look like?
There's a 2-step evaluation. Some companies have a 1-step. We're actually coming out with a 1-step as well. They each have different criteria that you have to meet. There's different profit targets and so on. So phase 1 is a little longer or a little higher profit target. Then phase 2 becomes a little easier. And then when you come to funded, then you're all in.
God, I've always hated tests, but if on the back end of the test, it makes me be able to make a lot more money, then I think I can tolerate that a little bit better.
Yeah.
Ryan, so before we get into some of the specifics about the platform, I want to talk to you about your background. So how did you, initially get started in the finance and investing world? And then how did you migrate over to the prop trading world?
Yeah. So I started as just a financial advisor, and then also a financial analyst in the controller division at Comerica Bank right here in Detroit when they were here.
There you go.
And I moved around to a couple different banks. I ended up at JP Morgan, and I ran the state of Michigan's unit there.
Wow.
About $5 billion in assets under management. So I was back and forth from here to Manhattan. That was around the time where the financial crisis happened. They bought Bear Stearns. I was going back and forth to New York all the time. I just got kind of burned out. So from there, I went and I did a couple more meaningful things with my time, some nonprofit stuff. I developed some real estate, affordable housing in Detroit. And then I always had this craving to get back into the investment industry. There's just always something that drew me to it, but I didn't want to get back into it in a way that was like so institutionalized.
Right.
I was. So what I saw at JP Morgan is the institutional, people control things, and in the retail, the smaller investor didn't really have too much of a shot. So I was just always looking. And then I met this guy, Blake Olson, on LinkedIn, and we started talking, and he owned a prop firm. He was starting another prop firm, and I wasn't too familiar with the whole concept. This was a couple of years ago. I wasn't too familiar with the concept at the time, but it actually was geared at the individual investor and doing things to focus on potentially life-altering changes for them, like be it side income, stay at home with your kids more, make some more income, that kind of thing. So it really is focused more on the individual and changing the individual's life. That's what kind of drew me to it.
Yeah, I mean that's interesting that you come from you had the institutional experience, that background, and you had that. You said, you know what? No, I want to help, retail investors, retail traders directly. So now you're doing it through this prop trading platform. What differentiates Smart Prop Trader from other prop trading firms out there?
Yeah, so I mean, the CEO Blake Olson, he is definitely one of the pioneers of the industry, and he had a large YouTube channel when I met him, and he had been doing interviews with a variety of prop firm CEOs and different prop firms. He started to, decided to kind of start his own. And what makes us the most different, I think, is we were able to take all of those interviews and all of that data and compile it and kind of create like a melting pot of what's best in the industry between a variety of companies, and then also at the same time suppress everything that's not good or negative with some of these companies that people don't like. So we created this instrument or this product that kind of had the best of everything.
Right.
And then now we've continued to kind of add on to that. And we have some real innovative things coming out, some technology stuff, some different plans. We're definitely going to continue to lead the way in innovation with the industry. And I think it's going to be really good for us.
Outside of coming, to our office here and talking to our great audience, how do you recruit like new traders and make sure they're, talented, good traders?
Well, I'm so old that it's social media. So much of it's social media driven. I say that. So I'm not the best at probably this type of question because I'm not a social media guy, but much of this industry is driven on social media, a lot on YouTube and Twitter, and Discord is used kind of in a community way.
Right.
So, there's marketing that, but mostly it's word of mouth between traders. Most of it is just, traders in there's so many trading communities in these different platforms where people talk. And I mean, our idea is for everyone that comes in to give them an amazing experience so that they, can talk about that experience to other people. And it doesn't matter if someone comes in at, at midnight or at 6 a.m. or at noon, our time, anywhere around the world. I want them to have the same great experiences when they come in, at a normal time in the United States.
Got it. So you've been in the industry for a while. Who would you say that prop trading is like for? Like, I imagine it's not for every single person out there with a Robinhood account should, should sign up for a prop trading account. So who is this platform for?
Yeah, I think this is an important question. I think, there's a lot of firms that market kind of like the materialistic kind of get rich quick type things. I would say it's not for that. If you're getting into prop trading because you want to buy a Ferrari in 90 days, I don't advise that at all. Those are the type of traders that just lose their accounts and things. I think it's for people who can continue to work and develop a skilled craft, and consistency is the number one name of the game in this industry. So, I mean, think about like if you get funded at a bunch of different places and you can, 1 to 2% with heavy leverage is nothing in a monthly basis. That adds up. I mean, it could potentially be very life altering. So I always say, people that want extra income, people that want to work from home, potentially stay at home mothers. There's such a wide demographic that's never been touched because the industry is more kind of in a niche phase, kind of as big as it is, it's still in the infancy stage. And I think there's a huge potential for it to be kind of more of a household name, more of like a slice of everyone's portfolio when it comes to like the speculative side of the equation.
So with that said, I mean, you mentioned that we're still in the infancy phase of this industry. Where do you see it going in the next 5-10 years?
Yeah, I think that, so, it continues to like every industry, companies get weeded out. And so right now what's happening, there's some consolidation in the industry going on, and some companies that probably shouldn't be around are being weeded out. And the ones that continue on and that kind of lead the force are going to be the ones like us that are professional. I mean, we built this whole company around a very professional image, fun, innovative, but very professional. There's a huge opportunity right now over the next 5 years, and the industry is not going anywhere. It's definitely going to consolidate. The barrier to entry is much higher now, which is a good thing. And I think that, again, I think it has the potential to become the slice in someone's portfolio of the speculation side. I mean, you can't, even if you're a good trader, if you're leveraging something 30 to 50 times, you're speculating in some regard. So I think it has a huge chance to be more of like a household type name that everybody talks about and knows about. Right now, a lot of people just don't even know about it still.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I was trading for like years before I even had heard about a prop trading firm or learned about what it is. And I think you're starting to see more of that. And to your point, still in the early innings of this, and you're going to see more growth in this industry as we continue. What are there any like specific asset classes or equities that, you know, smart prop trader like specializes in, or can you just trade everything? Is it futures? Like what's on there?
We're definitely we're looking into futures at some point in the future, but that'll be through a different entity probably.
Okay.
Right now it's purely FX, which is, you know, the most popular by far. We do have a lot of people that trade gold and indices as well.
Okay.
But you can trade, I mean, we also offer like oil, there's commodities, metals, indices, and FX, but I definitely would say the most popular are the FX instruments. And like things like the US 30, which is a super liquid, fluid, you know, instrument that is easy to trade because it's so fluid and it's so high volume. So we definitely have people that do a lot of indices and things like that, but no individual equities as of now. I think there's only a couple, maybe one or two prop firms that do individual equities to begin with.
Right. So much
but it's
risk
something
there.
that, yeah, it's just, you know, you can have an equity move 20%
Right.
one day. And if you have that
You're
leverage
wiped
like 10
out, yeah.
times, like, you know, it'd be a crazy trade. So anyways, yeah, I think those are the most popular instruments.
Do you have any specific like stories of someone on the firm that's just hit it out of the park? Like this guy was working a 9 to 5. Now he gets to stay at home with his kids, like you said. I mean, do you get to know your customers and clients like that at all?
I do. Coincidentally, our largest trader, I hope he's listening. He actually lives in Troy, Michigan.
Nice.
His name's Art. I won't say his last name, but he definitely did have a full-time job when I met him 2 years ago, and he had been trading for a while, but I'll give you an idea, like, you know, and this is public, he lets me post this, but we just paid him out last week like 22,000. Then he has another payout coming in a week for like 25,000.
Okay.
Like 50,000.
What's his name?
His name's Art.
Art.
Yep.
Art. Well, I'm around, Art. If you want to take me out to dinner once you get that check up in Troy, we could hit you know, Kona Steakhouse or something up there.
Yeah, he and I definitely we meet up periodically and stuff, and he's been you know, he's definitely became a friend. But he's probably one of our more consistent traders in terms of like the big payout numbers. We also have several people that are like very consistent in like, you know, the 1 to 10,000 range. Like we have someone in Romania that consistently $8,000 to $10,000. His name's Florin. And then we have a lot of people. We have one person that was like, I don't know, they were like 12 or 13 consistent payouts, which is very impressive.
I thought you were going to say they were 12 or 13 years old.
No, you got to be 18 years old. But 12 or 13 consistent payouts to be funded that long. Most people don't, you know, they get refunded.
Right.
That's very impressive. That person was like, they were overseas somewhere, and I think they were taking like $400 or $500 a month, which was very meaningful where they lived. And that's the name of the game. It's just, you know, to not be greedy.
Right.
You know, people that learn like Art, for instance, he shuts it off when he gets to 10% for the month. It doesn't matter if he does that on day 2. He doesn't trade the other 28 days. He won't. He doesn't touch it. That's like the psychological part of the industry. And when you can master the psychological part, the rest becomes a lot more easy.
Yeah, it's like in baseball, the guys that are hitting 300 at the end of the year aren't guys that are trying to hit home runs every single day. It's guys that are okay taking some singles here and there, and it's, you know, that's what you need to do. But well, that's awesome. I've loved learning more about Smart Prop Trader. I'll have to check out the platform. Before I let you go, we're wrapping up here. I mean, you're a market guy. You've been in the industry a while. You got any hot takes for me? Where do you think the market's going? You think the rally will continue? You got any stocks you like right now?
I'd be careful of giving investment advice because you know how
it's not advice. We're just having
people always, well, you never know. People twist it and say, "Oh, you told me to buy it." If I had any little bit of advice, which I didn't mention this when you asked me, we trade crypto as well, right?
Okay.
I think crypto is a pretty good investment for the next. It's a good investment to trade because it's so volatile,
right?
But I definitely think that over, you know, between now and 2030, crypto is going to be a very good asset class, and I would not be shocked at all to see it outperform any equity class that there is in that time frame. I think you know, Bitcoin has a halving event coming this month.
Yeah, April 21st, I believe.
Yep. So, you know, and that's had a huge run, obviously, the last 12 months even. And it's really choppy, but I think if someone's just if you have money that you don't need for 5 years, I think that's a pretty smart place to put it.
Beautiful. Well, again, Ryan, from the COO of Smart Prop Trader, it's been a pleasure to have you in the Benzinga office. Love learning more about the firm. Go to smartproptrader.com. We got the link in the chat and on the screen if you want to go check that out, learn how you can get some accounts funded.
Yes.
And I mean, again, guys, like this is a very exciting opportunity in an industry that will continue to grow. Ryan, thanks again for coming in. How do you like the
Thank
office,
you.
by the way?
I think the office is amazing. Yeah, I might just come down here and
Hang out. Yeah, we got
I
extra
might just
space.
have like make my own office somewhere around
Yeah,
here.
do it. And we got the draft coming here in a couple weeks. That'll be
Yeah.
exciting as well. So, all
That's
right.
right behind us, right down here.
Yeah, yes,
That's
sir.
crazy.
So if anyone out there in the audience wants to come hang out for that as well, come see the Benzinga office. Let us know. We will be around. You can email shows@benzinga.com and we'll get you hooked up. All right, guys, that'll be a wrap on Benzinga's All Access today. I think we're going to bring my man Ryan back on the stream. Ryan, how you doing?
Doing really good. Love to hear new people go into the office saying how awesome it was. That is amazing. That's exactly the
Ryan,
experience
we got to
that I
get
had.
you to come check out the office at some point.
Oh, I know, because I'm never there. You're right.
I've never. Yeah, no. Just messing with. Ryan's been in the office a number of times. I'm
I
just
love
screwing
it.
around
I
with
had
him.
the same exact. I had the
that
same
Ryan, not
reaction
this
as the other Ryan.
Now it's confusing. We got a lot of Ryans here.
We out here.
And a lot of Aarons too. All right, I'll leave it back to you, Ryan. We'll chat soon, okay?
Yep, sounds good. By the way, that first weekend in August, it looks like Cardinals to the Cubs.
It's a weekend.
I think so.
All right, I'm there.
Okay,
Beautiful. Let's do it.
we'll look it up. Take
All
care
right, we
of
gotta
yourself.
hit some. We
good stuff.
we gotta hit some good trades so we can buy some tickets, like in the Makers Club. Get some nice tickets. All right.
Yeah, okay, you got to twist Ryan's arm as soon as you get off camera here.
I will. Actually, let's go. Let's go twice. One day we can sit like in nice seats in the club where we get free food and drinks and stuff. The other day I want to sit in the bleachers. I want like the real Wrigley experience.
Yeah,
You know.
hell yeah. We also got to golf while you're here.
All right, awesome. So we got a whole weekend planned just like that.
This is a vacation in the making. Let's go. AD,
All right.
take care
Well,
of
it'll be a
yourself.
work
We'll see you.
trip too. I'll do some man on the street or something in Wrigleyville.
There we go.
So that way I can comp everything, expense my tickets down there.
The plan
Don't
is coming
tell
together.
Jason I said that. Are we live still?
Maybe take care of yourself too. Okay, enough with the shenanigans. We like to have fun here. We're actually going to kind of dial this back and bring it back to a serious tone. We are going to talk about options with the one and only Anne-Marie Band. Anne-Marie, how are you doing today? Welcome back from your vacation, by the way.
Yeah, well, vacation is where you sit on the beach and do nothing except sleep and drink whatever cocktail you feel like. But schlepping in bags, watching basketball games all around Europe, that can get a little. I'm glad to be home so I can take a nap, sleep with my pillow. I'm ready.
Fair enough. Nope. Look, after all, no place like home. I'm with you there. Welcome back. Glad your travels were all safe. You didn't have any door plugs blow out on your plane. That's great news.
Yes.
Sorry, maybe that was a little too soon. Let's dive right into the actual action here today. Anne-Marie, what are you seeing? What do you got lined up for us today?
Okay, so first of all, I want to just throw out a little bit of a warning. This is Target. We're going to have a trade on this one in just a second.
Okay.
But I want to show you what SPY is doing. And we've got ourselves a little bit of a dip. I'm looking at a 4-hour chart. And we're seeing that the market action is saying I'm going to try and find support. Now, the big thing that's happening is the bond market. The bond market is having a little bit of trouble. They're sitting right at a line that's super important to me. For any of us that have been watching me together, this number at 92 is really important. It's trying to hold. But if the bonds continue to go down, it's an anticipation of rates moving back up. And so we want to be very careful about taking longer term trades in the Russell right now. We still have bounce formations that are probably sitting around, but I just want you guys to be careful overall. Now, what's happening right now in Target is that we're in a little bit of a bounce pattern. The broad market has come into support. The bonds are starting to settle out, hold a floor. And so this is telling me, hey, listen, traders might have a pretty nice recovery trade here in Target. And so my thought was, I've had a lot of folks on the stream and elsewhere saying, hey, I wish you could show a few low risk opportunities to get involved because I'm getting a little nervous being in the market. And so today we're going to stagger that specifically. We're going to look at what is a nice low risk trade to take us for the next month or so. You know, we've got Powell speaking this week. We've got all of the Fed presidents auditioning for their next gig all day today, all day tomorrow, whatever. And so we just want to be a little careful of that. But over the longer haul, the broad market looks like it's just trying to settle out. There's nothing showing any kind of monster reversals, but there's also nothing showing that we're sitting in a place to go to new highs. Before I get there, somebody might go, yeah, but Anne-Marie, didn't you notice what happened to Google on Monday? And it gave us a brand new high. And as soon as it hit that high, I mean, literally, the prior high was 155. It went, well, 155.90 or so. It went $1 to the north and then has totally come off that number. So yes, there are a few spots that are doing really well, but in the grand scheme of things, we're looking at grinding motion. All right. So if you want to go to Google, I would say short put spreads. If you're interested, this number here at 150 is a really nice number, 150 to 145 short put spread. And, you know, just use the end of April or even May to give you some range there, because that's still got a good clip to the upside, but I still think everything's very squishy and going to be moving down. So let's look at Target. I tried to change the visibility, so still not looking very good. Let's try it one more time.
I'll say this, I can actually help out here. I mean, I'm looking at it. I've got the stream maximized and I have my browser window maximized. I can actually see it here today. I know it's hard because it's thinkorswim, but I can actually see it here today.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is shift it to extra large and then see if that, whoopsie daisy. All right, let's move that. And then let's go back to the charts, and then let's expand here and go to the analysis tab. Right?
Actually, that is bigger. I don't see text yet, but I can tell that everything else here is bigger.
Yeah, I think it should be pretty nice. So let's go to Target, TGT. Much better. Yeah, much, much better.
Yes,
so let's
that
go
is
to May.
definitely easier to see.
Yeah, so let's go to May and let's use all of the no, let's go 14 strikes, right? And now let's see what we can do here as we're staring down these charts. Let's go here again. We're looking at Target. This is a tight time frame. This line in the sand shows the highest volume we've had in 5 days. It was over at the price point of 174. So I am thinking that 170 might be a very nice support zone here from a put perspective, and maybe 190. We want to collect on both sides because I don't see us running off the rails, but I also don't see us falling off the floor. So let's collect on both sides. And so 170 to 160, and then 190 to 200. You know, I'm doing a lot of I'm doing a lot of iron condors right now, but let's see if we can see that. It says this is for May. We're selling the 190. Remember, that's where we want to have our alert set for price action to move up. We're giving it a 10-point spread, right? And so our delta over here is going to be 6.9. Again, the delta means the probability of being wrong. That's what we're going to look at. For us, the probability of us being wrong is going to be, it just popped up to 7. So somewhere around 7%, that would mean we've got a 93% chance of being right in general. And it's going to give us $2.78 or $278 of risk that we get to look at right there. And so from that perspective, that's the one that looks like it's going to give us a really nice view. So are there other trades that you might say, hey, Anne-Marie, I don't like selling spreads. What could I do? You know, the difference there really to me is, what do you think the most reasonable thing is? And in my mind, old resistance, new support. Really, this chart looks like it could easily come in all the way down into here. But we have a lot of news. We have jobs numbers. We've got all kinds of things coming up. And so from that perspective, we're sitting at a region that says, well, what if somebody comes out? What if Powell comes out tomorrow and says, you know, something fantastic? And then all of a sudden we're looking at a new run up in the market. And so clean directional trades in the big hitters don't look fantastic to me right now. Today, however, if you're staring down and you're saying, hey, what if I want to buy a 0 DTE? Have a look at what's happening in the chart right this minute. Okay, so if you stare down this formation right here, you're going to see that I have a linear regression channel. That's right here on the bottom, this orange line, and the price action is bouncing right off of it. At the same time, momentum is at its absolute lowest. Notice what happens. When momentum is at its absolute lowest, price action will run into resistance. And so we have this test here where we could look at a 0 DTE and say, you know what? I'm going to buy the 518 or the 519, and I'm going to see if it holds the bounce. So for the trader who says, hey, listen, I want to buy a 0 DTE expiring today, you could go to the 518. It's going to cost $66. Your goal is to watch it head to 518, and you very likely could make 30%. Let me show you what the risk profile looks like here on that. Now let's use the probability analysis. So, oh, that's kind of wonky. I don't want to do that. But the storyboard is the following. If you're taking a look at this motion here and you're saying, hey, I want to look at this getting to 518 to 519, you really are looking at, where's that percentage? It's so close. You're looking at about a 60% chance on the day that it could rise in that region. And so that's a great space because you can see it coming right off the zone. So tip, if you're thinking to yourself, man, I would love to get in and trade some of these 0 DTE options, you're going to make the most money if the following things look the same every time. One, you're at the bottom of a volatility channel. That's a VWAP band. That's number one. And so that would be, I've got this at 2 standard deviations down here. And so it slips down almost to the 2, starts holding the 1, and it's got the linear regression, and it's got an extremely low level on the delta momentum. All of that tells you, you know what? I got to bounce here. So take a look here. As it comes up, here's the VWAP. It's the pinkish line. It comes up here. and it begins to roll over. Now, this is yesterday evening. It begins to roll over. Early in the morning, you've got the extreme level. It bounces. It only goes to the top of the volatility band, and then it loses the VWAP. And that entire thing, when you come into the open of your morning and you go, what happened overnight? First thing you want to see is, okay, I tried to get up here. All of my momentum is slipping, and I'm underneath this area. You could easily go, all right, where is the prior day's low? It might be, over here at 520. And if you're sitting at 522 and the market opens, you could go, you know what? I'm going to buy that 520 put. But right now it's telling us, listen, you've got a little bit of juice. So try to get it between 56 and 66 and try to cover it at about 90 to $1.10. What I believe the market is going to do, because we have been very rewarded from the buy the dip formations, we're going to look at this area right here at this 517, and we're going to say, you know what? That came right in. Old resistance, broke through it, came here, right here at this edge. It's going to try and push it up. And you have maybe a 50% stop loss there. That's my thought.
Okay,
Yeah.
Sounds pretty good. And I like this. There was a comment here. Let me see if I can find it here. Is there a ratio that you use on your iron condors? I think the one that you were just showing there looked like it had a risk to reward of just about 3 or just about under 3 to 1. Is that normal? Is that normally something you're trying to do?
So my thought is that I am always going to build an iron condor relative to what the price action is telling me.
Okay.
Sometimes it's tight, sometimes it's wide. If the volatility is explosive, I could maybe collect a little bit more with a tighter band. If the volatility is light, like with Target, it doesn't have a massive volatility ranking at all, right? The vol is like, oh, geez. This thing always resets. The implied vol is, there we go. Sorry. The implied vol is like 16, 17 for, let's see, where is May? Yeah. Sorry, TGT.
I hate when it does that to me all the time. Doesn't seem to be a rhyme or reason to it either.
Yeah. Well, the vol is like 21%, and so we don't want to hold it for too long, but we also don't want to have it languish through the ups and downs that up at the spring. I think we're going to have, I think spring to summer is going to be a little bit noisy.
Okay. Yeah. I think you're probably right there. Okay. Awesome stuff. We'll look to dive into another trade here on Friday. Really quick,
Yes.
There was a really good call by one of our chat members earlier. It actually fits in with that SPY chart that you just had a second ago, where you were kind of going with some of that up. It didn't take target out of there. It did it again to you. There we go. Okay. So Jay's Life earlier, you had mentioned that there was a potential SPY reversal, 516.48. This is actually the exact number of the low here. I can't remember if this was the exact number that you gave there. And look, Anne-Marie, that's one of the things that you were just talking about, right? You were basically talking about a bounce off that 517.02 number. It's only a 54-cent difference here from where we actually reversed. So good stuff there all the way around.
Very nice. Yeah.
Very nice stuff. Now, folks, I do want to mention, I know a lot of the times we go right up to the bell here with Anne-Marie because we just have so much content. if stuff like this is interesting to you or helpful to you, remember Anne-Marie is part of Benzinga Pro. Anne-Marie, I hope you don't mind me saying that.
Oh, love it.
Part of the Benzinga Pro community, has her own chat room, posts a lot of these trades, and has a lot of these Zoom calls where we can join on. I know there were some questions here that we couldn't get to. We often can't do that in the YouTube show. I would absolutely encourage you folks to join Benzinga Pro and check out Anne-Marie in that chat channel.
Absolutely. You'll have tons of fun. It's always great to be on with you, Ryan. Wish we could have like a sports show, because baseball season is so fantastic to me. But we'll chat offline.
Look, here's the thing. Like, I'm glad that you said that, because that just kind of validates something that's going on behind the scenes here. I'm often talking to my teammates, let's start up a sports show or a sports podcast, or let's talk about this, that, and the other thing. And one of the other things, there's only a handful of us that like baseball. You heard Aaron and I talking about baseball as we ended the last show. I know you're a baseball fan, so that would be quite exciting here.
Yeah, super happy for that kid that had that no-hitter. I mean, he's 30. He's not good. He's kid to me, because he could be my kid. But, that no-hitter from the Astros was just that was just great. 2016, he's washing cars in the DR.
And now he's throwing I don't know if you saw this earlier, but the Cubs played their home opener. They got a win. Their pitcher that they just signed, Shota Imanaga, he had a no-hitter into the 6th before finally giving it up. So he was looking real good. It was a good day yesterday. Hey, you know what? When we have extra time like this, we're going to fit some sports in, Anne-Marie. That's just what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. Awesome stuff. Again, I can't thank you enough. We're going to have you back here on Friday. Folks, again, it's Anne-Marie. If you're interested in any of the option strategies or plays that she has, please check out Benzinga Pro. She has a dedicated chat room. As you can see, she's the absolute best. Anne-Marie, thank you so much. We'll see you, folks. Take care, everybody. We will see you on Friday.